Hey Limitless Nation, today you're in for a real treat. Today you get to learn directly from Cuprill. Cuprill is a master life coach, advanced Ho'oponopono practitioner, ordained minister, and shaman. As an abuse survivor, she has dedicated her life to helping others overcome pain, negative thinking, old patterns and behavior, negative self-talk, and low self-esteem. She helps people to heal old wounds, behaviors, and thought patterns so they can live their best lives. With the practice of Ho'oponopono, Lauren helps clients remove stress, anxiety, create better relationships for themselves, decrease conflict, and help mental health, and most of all, improve their own productivity. In today's masterclass, you are going to learn directly from the master herself, Lauren Cuprill. Let's dive into it.
Before you dive into today's masterclass session, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button below. It allows you to receive notification bell every single time we provide you with the contents that allows you to live a limitless life. Now, if you want to go deeper on learning on how you can hunt your future, make sure you download our masterclass session at huntyourfuture.com. It allows you to know exactly what you need to do to hunt your future. Plus, we are also going to share with you tips and tricks on what you need to do to live a limitless life starting from today's forward. Now, let's dive into today's masterclass sessions.
Hey, welcome Lauren Cuprill.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, and we're thrilled to have you with us today. So, Lauren, is there anything that we did not mention in the bio that you'd like to share with the Limitless Nation?
I guess just my day job kind of, enhances a little bit about the bio. As, part of my work, I work with folks who are in recovery or people who have mental health issues. I work with people who are dealing with traumas, people coming out of domestic violence situations, people who have some sobriety and are trying to improve their lives and kind of get back on their feet. And so my whole world really revolves around what I can do to help people rebuild their lives, get themselves healthier and happier. And I just I'm a conduit to try to help people improve themselves.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Now, Lauren, here at the Limitless Nation, we have a tradition of starting each and every single interview out with a limitless quote. So do you have a quote that you have or think to yourself on a daily basis?
I do actually. I have this, I do wood burning. And so I have this sign that I burned and it's hanging up next to my bathroom mirror. So every morning I see it and it says, I did not come this far to only come this far. So it's just that kind of encouragement to keep pushing myself and to know that there's something greater and to just keep going.
Right. And not to diverge off the path too much, but just a quick clarification here. Wood burning, when you say wood burning, is that like stenciling into wood?
Yeah, pretty much. It's there's a wood burning pen and it kind of stencils into the wood, for lack of a better term. Yeah.
Okay, because when I think of wood burning, I think of burning wood in a stove. But in moving on, Lauren, can you share with us a challenge, a setback, or even failure, or any type of obstacle that you've had to overcome to get to where you are now?
The biggest thing for me, and this is what changed my life and what got me into coaching and Ho'oponopono, was actually my marriage and my divorce. My divorce was really, really nasty. It was very abusive. I had the police here on a regular basis. In living in such a toxic, unhealthy environment, I started going to a life coach myself. I found Ho'oponopono, and I really started working on improving myself and kind of holding myself accountable for my role in everything. And by doing so, I was able to heal myself and to really kind of skyrocket myself, and I healed all these old wounds, and I was able to see myself in a better light and to just totally transform my life from not having a bank account, not having any assets, to at the end of the divorce I have my own car. I ended up getting awarded the house. Everything changed for me, and I'm happier and I have more peace now just by going through something that most people, when they see the police reports, my ex got arrested. I could tell you all these horrible stories. It takes forever and a day. But that was my bottom. That was my low point in life. But I didn't let that keep me down. I used that to propel me and to say, I'm going to fix myself, and now I'm going to use this as fuel to help and reach out and help other people.
Right. Wow. So from what I gathered, the biggest challenge that you had to face was not just one challenge, it was several challenges. And it varied from being in an abusive relationship to being divorced to going through, I'm guessing, I'm not sure what it's called, but basically where the state or whoever decides who gets what. And
yeah, I mean, it was all bundled into one giant cluster, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of step after step after step. But yeah, I mean, it was going through this marriage, then the divorce process, and then yes, the judge going through with the two lawyers and the judge and dividing up all of the assets. But it was literally just this whole entity in this whole situation. I mean, the marriage took place over 7 or 8 years, but the divorce was about 2.5 years. But there was so much evolution there and so much growth and development there. And it really just, it changed everything. I'm not the same person I was.
absolutely. Now, Lauren, when you started saying about not the person that you were, here we call it an aha moment. So what was that moment when you're going through all this struggle, all this challenge? What was that moment that something just clicked and everything just changed?
I think it was when I was studying Ho'oponopono, and they talk about how we are responsible for 100% of everything that happens in our lives. And at first, most people, and myself included, kind of get a little defensive and say, well, hey, wait a minute, I can't control what other people say or do. And that is true. But it did help me to see that I was responsible for everything that I had said or done or not said or done that led up to that point. And it held me accountable for my role and everything. And it really helped me to see I'm not necessarily a victim. I mean, you can consider it a domestic violence situation. And, yes, I'm technically a victim in that regard. But at the same time, I'm also accountable for getting myself out. I'm accountable for, getting myself into that situation. I'm accountable for taking charge of my own life. So that was my aha moment, was once that resonated with me, once I was able to figure that out, that I am in charge of my life. I am accountable for this. I am responsible for this. That's when everything changed.
All right. So as soon as you took accountability, everything changed. And in speaking of change, what are you working on now?
Hope you enjoyed the masterclass session so far. Before we get into the second half of the session itself, it is very crucial for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I really don't want you to miss out on another masterclass where I'm going to share with you what other expert celebrities, Fortune 5000 companies do to become successful and live a limitless life. So make sure you subscribe right now, and every single time we upload a new video, you will receive a notification bell. This allows you to enjoy the masterclass on the regular basis. So make sure you subscribe right now. Well, as you are ready, let's get into the second half of the masterclass session.
Right now I have a book that's coming out from Newman Springs Publishing that teaches about Ho'oponopono, and it has exercises where people can utilize affirmations and Ho'oponopono, and it's got some thought-provoking questions that they can, utilize to try to see how they can use these principles in their own lives. I have my day job, which is through a nonprofit organization where I'm going out and seeing how I can help people within the community, just going out, whether they need coats, whether they need a job, education, whatever. I mean, it's separate from my business, but it's still out there helping people. And then I have my website where people can always reach me and see if they want to do coaching one-on-one.
All right. So tell us more about where people can go to learn more about you, what you're doing, how to connect, as well as learn about your coaching.
So my website is www.healingwithlauren.com. It's all one giant word, HELINGWITHLAUREN.com. That's got all my information. It's got some information on Ho'oponopono. It's got a little bit of background on me. I have some clips. I've got a self-guided program on there that people can purchase. There are some links to my Facebook page. So there's all kinds of good stuff on there that people, my email is on there. People can connect to me via email on there as well. So that's really kind of the best way to get a hold of me, is right there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, Lauren, as you started on this limitless journey, did you feel that there was anything holding you back from really becoming limitless?
It was my own fears and not being able to see the bigger picture at the time. You know, obviously going through the divorce and going through some of the domestic violence stuff, it's really hard to be able to see a bigger picture when you're kind of in the midst of it. You know, I was living in such a life of fear. That was a big problem for me at that time. But, you know, what I'm learning, and it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with, and it's something that I still work on, is, you know, our doubts, our fears, that's what holds us back. The more that we can just let that go and just be open and go with the flow and just trust the powers that be, that's when everything truly is limitless. And just, even if we can't see the full picture, just know that it's there. And as time goes on, we will be able to see everything in its entirety.
Absolutely. Now, Lauren, with you having helped so many people from all walks of life, from A to Z, helping them get to where they want to go based off of your own experiences and the tools that you use through your coaching program, what is one bit of advice that they have given you that you can share with the Limitless Nation?
That there is nothing that the human spirit can't overcome. Whether it's been homelessness, addiction, mental illness. I mean, I've seen people who've had some pretty nasty demons that, you know, far surpass my own story. And I have seen them achieve so much. And it's absolutely amazing to watch. And it's so encouraging and so inspiring to see these people turn their lives around and do so much that there's no case is hopeless. Every person can achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. You just have to be willing to put in the effort.
I agree. I completely agree with that. Lauren, when you say putting in the effort, what is a habit that you have embedded into your life that helps you maintain this limitless life?
Every morning and every night when I first wake up and right before bed, I sit down and I write out affirmations and positive quotes and just things to try to start off my day on a positive note and end it on a positive note. I think it's really important to get ourselves in that right mind frame. You don't want to start off your day in a negative way or just go all downhill. And I think it's important it's kind of meditative to, you know, do that at the end of the day. It helps you to wind down, again, gets you into more peaceful state. And it helps me to really relax at the end of the day.
I agree. But continually putting yourself in a positive mental state, it allows you to be more productive and it allows you to stay centered throughout the entire day.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Lauren, in a hypothetical world, if you look through your shelves of books and they all just disappeared one day, and you look at your bank account and realize that you only have enough money to get one book. It can be any book, but it can only be one book. What is the first book you would go out and get?
Oh, that's a tough one. I love books. Probably Zero by Joe Vitale. He's actually one of my teachers for Ho'oponopono. And anything relating to being in that, again, that limitless mind frame, and that's what the point of Zero is being in that limitless mind frame. That's what anything where I can get into that Ho'oponopono state, that limitless mind frame where our fears, our doubts are gone. That's what I need.
Right.
It's about that state of being in limitlessness and no fears, no doubts, and it's all about Ho'oponopono, and that's what resonates with me. And that's what I need to just be in that better mind frame and to just help to continue to improve myself.
All right. I agree. And Dr. Joe Vitale does an amazing job with helping people understand Ho'oponopono and understanding the law of attraction. That's what he's best known for in the movie The Secret, etc. So another hypothetical question is, if you had the ability to travel back in time and talk to the younger version of yourself, what advice would you give her?
Persistence is key. Don't ever give up, and especially not on yourself. I think we as people tend to doubt ourselves and give up on ourselves too quickly. And I think it's really important for us to not ever do that. I've given up on myself, when I was younger and really doubted my strengths or my capabilities along, over the years. And the older I get, the more I'm saying, I may be human, but I still have a lot to offer. And I think it's important for myself, but for everybody to really see that we all have something to bring to the table.
I agree that everyone has the ability to bring something positive and something good to the world and to the table.
Yep.
Now, Lauren, tell us again where the Limitless Nation can go to learn more about you, what you're working on, and just to connect with you.
Sure, absolutely. Once again, my website is www.healingwithlauren.com. Again, all my links are there. You can email me there. My Facebook is on there. So that's really kind of like the main hub to get a hold of me.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great to meet you and great talking with you.
And it was amazing because I learned so much from you. I'm sure that the Limitless Nation has been inspired by your story. I know that I absolutely am amazed at the challenges that you have overcome, and simply you didn't let them stop you from living your life. You found a way to harness Ho'oponopono and reach that next level of happiness and well-being in your life.
Thank you so much.
Well, until next time, this is Donovan saying, stay limitless.
Well, that's a wrap. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the word subscribe. And if you want to go deeper on learning on what you need to do to hunt your future, make sure you watch the interview that I've done with Donovan on what you need to do to hunt your future on every aspect of your being. This allows you to live a limitless life on every aspect of your life, starting from today's forward. Plus, you are going to receive tips and tricks on what you need to do to tackle your day, tackle your challenges on every situation, every single time. So go ahead and download it right now, and until then, stay limitless forever.